You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Wednesday the 19th of March 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And I haven't done any writing today. I kind of thought I probably wouldn't because I've had a really nice day out, but he says, after I recorded the podcast yesterday, I think I said I was going to drive to Chester, so I was already in Chester so that I could visit the zoo today without having to drive 2.5 hours first, because I also have to drive home. I had to drive home today, so I just spent 5 hours in the car today if I'd driven there and driven back today. So yes, so I got to the hotel in Chester and had nothing to do. And so I had actually read another 3 chapters of Empress. So, not of Empress, of... oh dear, I lost my train of thought there. Right, sorry, yes. So I'd read another 3 chapters of Still Life. So I did a live stream last night from the hotel. Bloody awful picture quality because the hotel Wi-Fi wasn't very good. Yeah, and I got up to and including chapter 22 signed off yesterday, which basically was all the 3 I needed to do today, and indeed 1 from tomorrow. Now, had a really nice day out today, so I didn't have to rush. Left the hotel at about, I think, 8:30, went and had breakfast, and then drove the short distance to the zoo, and it was a really nice day out. There was some beautiful kind of, I forgot to notice which part of the world they're from. There's gorgeous little mini flamingos there, as well as the regular sized ones. 3 separate monkey and ape type enclosures. And again, got some really gorgeous photographs of those. But the best 2 things, the 2 bits that I enjoyed the most, are the butterfly enclosure, which I couldn't get any photos with my expensive camera because we literally walked in there and my glasses steamed up because it was really humid in there. And the problem is when that happens, the lens on the camera goes as well. But I was able to get some pictures of butterflies with my iPhone, and it was stunning actually. So many of them flapping around. It was really cool. And then there was another enclosure for bats, which had 2 types of bats in there. And again, it was very dark. So initially it took a little while for your eyes to adjust, but once they did, you could see the bats flapping around, and actually every now and then one would whiz really close to you and like skim your hairline and, you know, give you a parting and stuff. So yeah, that was really, really good. And then the other thing that I saw, actually it was my friend that saw it. I'm trying to remember what we just looked at. Oh, we were just at one of the, I think it was the big outdoor cat enclosures. I can't remember if it was a cheetah or a whatever it was. But my friend who I was with points up to the sky and goes, "Oh my God, what's that?" And there was this absolutely enormous aeroplane shaped like a whale. And it was very, very low because it was coming into land. I mean, and I've never seen one before, but I knew exactly what it was. It was an Airbus Beluga. And there's only like 11 of them in the world. And this was actually an Airbus Beluga XL. So it's a converted A330 that is there for cargo, massive, you know, it takes big items as cargo. And it was literally coming into land at Chester Airport, which was just a couple of miles from where the zoo is. So literally, you got a beautiful view of this thing. Didn't have my decent camera out at that point and didn't really get any pictures. I was just kind of dumbstruck by it. Watched it on flight radar and it took off again about hour and a half later, just as we were having lunch. But again, we saw it, but it was a bit further away because what it did was it took off because it was descending over the zoo when it landed, and when it takes off it took off from the runway in the same direction, so it basically went away from the zoo, circled back round so you could see it. But yeah, anyway, we're sitting down later on, had a coffee and a drink or something, and my friend's like, oh, I can hear that noise again. That sounds like the Beluga. I'm like, no, don't be silly. She points up, and there's another bloody Airbus Beluga. And this time I had my camera out, and she'd given me enough, so give me enough notice, so I ran round the corner and got a picture of this gigantic aircraft. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I've known about them for years. They're, as I say, they're literally used for carrying large bits of aircraft from the manufacturer to where they're attached to the aircraft. Boeing have something similar called the Dreamlifter, in which they can actually transport aircraft fuselages from the manufacturing site to the place where they stick the wings on. It's very impressive. Anyway, lovely day at the zoo. I recommend Chester Zoo. It's absolutely amazing. But I kind of wanted to know what was going on with these, and it was two different Airbus Beluga aircraft, and they were both going from Chester back to Hamburg, and I googled it, and it turns out that Chester Airport has a manufacturing site where they actually build wings for all of the Airbus planes. 320, I can't remember what the middle one is, but 350 and 380. It's probably 340 or 330, I can't remember. They actually build them there. They build the wings there. So these enormous, great big beluga whale kind of freighters were coming in to collect wings. Oh, I loved it. I mean, I really enjoyed the zoo as well, but the sad geek in me really enjoyed seeing this because I'm aware of this aircraft. I've seen photographs of it. It was a big deal when one came into Heathrow once, but yeah, I had never seen one. And the thing, it was only on the ground for an hour and a quarter, so literally they must have been ready to literally load the wings straight in, the wings, and then take off again. Very impressive. So yeah, lovely day out. Didn't do any writing, and the reason I was going to do some when I got home this evening, and then just before I drove home, I remembered that it's book club tomorrow. My local bookshop holds these book clubs, and I hadn't even started the book, which is ridiculous. So under normal circumstances, I would have just gone, you know what, I'm not going to get it done. I can't go. But this particular one that I booked onto a month ago, it sells out. So if I don't turn up, it means somebody else who wanted a place has been denied it by me, which is really unfair. So I got to the car, and I thought, oh, sod it, it's only $7.99, and downloaded the audio book of the book that I've got to read. And I listened to it in the car on my drive home. It took about 3 hours to drive home, and I listened to this audio book in the car. And I was listening to it. Normally I listen to audiobooks at like 1.2 speed because it still sounds like normal human speech, but I'm not going to lie, I was so keen to get this done. I listened to it on 1.5 speed, and I got about it's a 15-hour audiobook, but at 1.5 speed it would go on for 10 hours, and I'd got the first 3 hours listened to by the time I got home. So it's 10:15 as I record this. I have now listened to 4.25 hours. If I can listen to another 45 minutes tonight, I'm halfway through the book, which then seems feasible. I've only got to listen to the other half tomorrow, and I've got to do it by 5:30. So there's a chance, because I really don't want to deprive someone of the, I don't really want to not have read the book and mean that someone who wants to go couldn't go because I'd taken up a place I didn't use. So I'm going to quickly upload this, then I'm going to carry on listening to the audiobook. I shall talk to you tomorrow. I will be doing plenty more writing tomorrow. Take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.